Welcome back to Midday. JP Lancaster joins us. How are you?
Fantastic.
You've been busy.
I have been. It's been a busy time.
I know, exactly. It is a busy time for you guys, and it's a good season right now. Some good craft beers are out. But you did chat recently up at TRU, so tell us a bit about that.
That's right. It was through True Sioux.
Yep.
And basically they were doing, it was an international craft beer tasting, but with an emphasis, of course, on local products. So some BC breweries thrown in there, as well as American and European.
Yep.
But yeah, just really an educational seminar on, what is craft beer, what are the different styles available. And I had the opportunity to speak about the notion of the craft beer revolution, which is really changing the marketplace and the way people, they view and discuss beer and enjoy it.
And actually, we have a clip of that as well. We'll run that, and you can hear how craft beer has come to Kamloops and evolved.
Kamloops in 1995 was home to Bear Brewing, which of course our brewmaster Dave Beardsall was the owner of. We had breweries such as Okanagan Springs when they were independently owned. And then we have, the 90s was still, there was a lot of fighting to be done. But as we get towards the end of the 90s, that's where we start to see the major resurgence in breweries. 2001, we have Phillips. Central City comes around in 2003. Cannery Brewing in Penticton, they opened in 2001. And so all of a sudden, the paradigm is shifting to where there is a thirst for these locally produced beers, and there are businesses who are able to sustain models based upon that. The third wave, so Red Collar, of course, is part of that. Four Winds, breweries like Parallel 49. About 2012, 2013, BC saw its brewery population double, and we're into 90 operational breweries and brew pubs currently in the province.
And that's where we are now.
Absolutely.
That's excellent.
Yeah, so again, the notion is the craft beer revolution, and that's an idea that's been penned by author Joe Wiebe.
Yes. He was here last year.
That's right.
Yeah, we had a chat with him.
Yeah, and he spoke at our brewery as well in conjunction with this book. And so he's coined this term, the craft beer revolution, which, it's broad-reaching for North America, but just in terms of BC, as I was speaking there, the marketplace has really evolved where you can have these small to medium-sized to large independently owned breweries. And I mean, just to put that into perspective, you look at with the women's hockey tournament and who the major beer sponsor is Molson. And unbeknownst to a lot of people, Molson is it's a multinational company now. They're aligned with Miller and Coors, which are obviously major American ones. And so that notion of local, when you support one of your local breweries, that money stays within the local economy.
Right.
Beyond there being pride in what we do, we've had tremendous support from pubs, restaurants around town who serve our product. Yeah. We try and reach out. We serve Fresh's Best products. We serve products from the chopping block. And so those kind of partnerships allow money to stay in the community, to be spent at other businesses.
Stay local,
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, that notion, like, revolution's a really, grandiose, exciting term. But it is really, more so than ever in the 21st century. People vote with their wallet and where they choose to spend money. And so, there's an impact on every decision you make. And where does that purchase, where does the money go? Does it stay in the community? Does it stay in the province? Does it stay in the country? Yeah. And I hope more and more people think about that, and certainly beer that's
and craft beer has just blown up. It's huge everywhere.
And I think, but again, people, they have those connections with people who work for the brewery, or they have, they're proud to support a local business or a regional business. Yeah. And in turn, us as businesses, I mean, we want to put our best foot forward because we are competing with these large multinational. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and so what we lack, in terms of finances, we make up with, products.
Your product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. If anybody hasn't had your beer, you need to head on over to Red Collar and try, because it's amazing. All your beers are really great.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, so seasonal beers we're chatting about right now, too. Yep. So what is this the one that you guys have right now that you're showcasing?
Yeah, this is the last of our winter, early spring seasonals. So another dark beer. We're getting into the lighter fare now. But this is a black Hefeweizen. So most people are familiar with the traditional Hefeweizen that you see served with an orange slice on a patio. Yeah. In Germany, they actually serve, so Weizen is German for wheat. Yeah. They serve wheat beers year-round. Obviously, they have the summer variety, but in the winter months, they have what's called the Dunkelweizen. Okay. So it's a dark wheat beer. Right. And so again, coming out of those winter months,
a little more rich, a little more strong.
Absolutely, yeah. So you're going to get what, so Hefe is German for yeast. Yeah. And so the yeast that's used for this style of beer produces a very particular aroma. So similar to like bubblegum, bananas, cloves.
Oh yeah, it's got like a sweet smell to it.
Absolutely, yeah. But then so when you pair it with dark roasted malts, you get, some very rich flavors, some fruity flavors, and yeah, all around just a very interesting beer.
Nice. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
It smells delicious already. Oh, it has a nice taste.
So smooth.
A little bit
Wheat.
of chocolate in there.
Absolutely. So you got wheat, which really rounds it out, but the chocolate gives it that roast flavor. And then you do get a bit of the fruitiness at the end from the yeast.
Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, this is available in craft-focused private stores around town.
Yeah.
And the government store uptown just picked up a few cases this week. But yeah,
Nice.
I mean, Linda, obviously, at Sahali,
Yep.
they do plenty of work
It's good
for
you guys
us.
did like Austria and Germany today.
Yeah, it kind of worked out, that
Exactly.
continental European thing.
Yeah.
But again, you know, but local in terms of partnership.
Yeah.
And, you know, we get a ton of support from them. We get a ton of support from the Fox and Hounds and other, you know, other local establishments
Yeah,
around town.
exactly.
And that's what it's all about.
You guys have some stuff at Redbeard as well, don't you not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Redbeard's model featuring rotating taps, and
Yeah.
we certainly get in there. Yeah, you know, and there's more and more places in town that are realizing there's a thirst for, you know, and we're totally supportive of other BC breweries getting in there. We don't want to
Right.
dominate the marketplace. That's not what it's about. But we're seeing more and more craft, you know, replacing kind of some of the bigger players and those big, large macro corporate breweries.
Yeah. So you guys, with these seasonal beers, what's coming up next?
Currently on tap at the brewery, we've got 2 pale ales.
Okay.
2 experimental ones. So we made 2 slight variations on a recipe, and we're trying to get feedback. That's a beer that we're going to be bottling.
Okay.
Probably around May.
Yeah.
We've got a blonde ale coming out, which is basically a rebrand of our Meritzen lager. We decided to take that recipe and put it into an ale form just because we were having some issues with our lager fermentation. We weren't totally happy with it. And again,
Right.
you know, and we want to make sure that we're
Exactly. It's
100%
trying it out,
sold.
experimenting a bit.
Yep. And then, so the other thing is, as summer comes around, we're going to have some wheat beers. So we're going to have what's called a white IPA. So
nice.
it's an IPA, a big hoppy beer, but you know, you get wheat in there, which smooths it out and gives it a different flavor. And a Belgian wit beer, which is
cool.
Yeah, basically the Belgian take on the Hefeweizen. So you get some fruit in there, some coriander. Yeah, really refreshing, good
Yeah, I was going to say
patio
it's a
beer.
little lighter, a little more refreshing for
Absolutely.
summertime.
Yeah, and then that's, you know, that will be where our focus shifts in terms of, you know, the colors of beer you're going to be seeing around.
So how many do you have on tap right now?
At any given time, we have 10 on tap.
Okay.
You know, and like I say, we've got our standbys like the IPA and the Double. They're always around.
Yeah.
But we're still experimenting. You know, a year and a half in, we're finding out what people like to drink, what we like to brew. You know, and that's the fun part of our job. I
know, exactly.
Dave obviously, you know, he brings so many different regions, you know, in his brewing portfolio.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, you know, we also have, you know, our group as a whole.
Right.
We're always pitching ideas, brainstorming, what can we do? What can we do next? Like, for example, we brewed a very experimental rye and ginger beer. So
Cool.
Rye, you know, not rye as in rye whiskey, but rye malt.
Yeah.
And then whole ginger went in. And so we just wanted to see how's that going to turn out. And
Nice.
yeah, so I mean,
That's
that's the fun side of it. And we
Yeah.
get to do, in draft, you know, we get to basically kind of do whatever we can conjure up. And then what works, we look at putting it in bottles and we go from there.
Nice. Beer scientists.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Mad
That's
scientists, I
fantastic. Yeah, I
think so.
love it. All the info's on the screen for you there. Definitely head on over to Red Collar if you haven't before and try out their beers. They're absolutely amazing. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
So happy to have you in town. And
Always a
again,
pleasure.
support local. These guys are great. Thanks so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
All right, we've got more Midday coming up for you right after the break.